everybody, it's your boy Mr. Sings Derby on me with a video which I did actually promise to do when the takeover was complete. However, for one reason or another, there's been many stumbling blocks, or it's just not gone through yet. And people were asking me after Cocu had been sacked to do a video, and I did say I was going to put it off until the takeover, but I'm just going to get straight into it today. Yeah, okay, Philip Cocu has gone by mutual consent, along with Twan Sheepers and Chris van der Weerden. You can't say it wasn't coming. Results, it's a results business. As much as I admire the guy, I thought he was top class throughout his tenure here, and he probably had one of, if not the worst managerial tenure ever at Derby County, with the amount of stuff he had to deal with. Yeah, I think his work is going to be tainted a lot by the results and the way we were playing, especially this season. But a major plus point of his tenure was actually bringing the youth through. We've actually been exposed to such a great youth academy that we actually do have. The likes of Louis Sibley, Max Bird, Morgan Whittaker, Jamal Hector Ingram, who else have we got? Lee Buchanan. He's brought these players through. Jason Knight. He's given them an opportunity in the first team, and he's shown us that we don't always need to spend 6 million on your Bradley Johnsons and 4 million on your Jacob Butterfields when you can actually bring up from the academy. So for that, I'd like to say thank you very much to Cocu and his staff. We're disappointed because I think there were a lot of fans that actually did want Cocu to succeed here, but for one reason or another, it just didn't seem to work out. So I guess it happens in football, doesn't it? Me, I always look at Cocu's appointment as the right man at the wrong time. I think the remit that he had to do was maybe a bit too much for someone that's only just come into English football. However, the man oozes class. I have no doubt that he'll probably be successful elsewhere. Just wasn't going to happen at Derby. Thank you for always being, always being level-headed and just being you. You were class throughout. Shame it didn't work out. It is a results business, so this was going to happen. Right, before I talk about other things, I actually do have a few questions from a few people from Twitter. So thank you for the people that actually do watch my videos and interact with me. Much love. I really do appreciate everybody that takes the time out to watch my videos. I'm just trying to build a new channel, trying to bring out a new opinion, give a new voice to the Derby fans. Not necessarily representing, but just to give another view, because we've got quite a few great people out there. We've got Derby Fan TV, Derby County Fan TV, Rams Writer Podcast, Steve Bloomer's Washing, Talk Derby to me. I listen to all these guys' work and I admire everything that they do. I just thought that there was a gap in the market for maybe somebody like me to jump in, because I mean, I'm Derby through and through. So I've always thought that I could always put something that, because obviously I studied journalism, so I always thought if I could put my journalism and my football club together, perfect. Right, so I'm gonna go on to the questions from Twitter. So I got one from Elliot Parker. He said, who do you think the replacement will be for Cocu, and will Rooney continue after the interim period? Well, we've got loads of names out there at the minute for potential replacements. Obviously, the dream is Rafa Benitez. I'm not sure where that link has actually come from. It was rumoured that the Sheikh, that when he tried to buy Newcastle, wanted to keep, I think Rafa was there at the time, wanted to keep Rafa, or he wanted Rafa as his number one. So maybe that's where the link has come from to Derby. Obviously, Sheikh Khalid must be a big admirer of Rafa and his style of football, and maybe with his takeover of us, we thought that maybe we would be getting a Rafa Benitez as such. I do think it's unrealistic, if I'm being honest. Me personally, if I had to pick, and not, if I had to pick, out of the available managers at the minute, I would go for Paul Cook. Paul Cook's done a tremendous job at Wigan. He does play a great style of football, and I think he's got that man management that this team needs. I think Cocu maybe was too nice to his players. Probably didn't bollock him enough. Paul Cook is the opposite. He will lay into you if you're messing about. He plays a good style of football. You saw it with Wigan when they did their Great Escape. If I was going to go a bit more ambitious than that, I've seen Slavica Jukanovic's name pop up a few times as well. Slavica Jukanovic has got 2 promotions with Watford and Fulham. Excellent style of football, probably suited to what Derby fans actually want to see, which is great attacking, fast-paced football, lots of goals. Slavica Jukanovic is a big yes for me. Paul Cook is a big yes for me. People have asked about Eddie Howe. I'm a bit sceptical about Eddie Howe. I'm taking nothing away from what he did at Bournemouth. Did an absolutely incredible job. Took him through the leagues, got him into the Premier League, playing a great attacking style of football. The only thing that worries me with him is towards the end of his tenure at Bournemouth, it got very stale, very predictable. It didn't look like they had a plan B. Spent a lot of money on players that just obviously didn't perform. And obviously with the masses of riches that we've got coming in from Sheikh Khalid, if we're allowed to spend it with the financial fair play, would I trust Eddie Howe with that sort of money, knowing some of the poor recruitment he made at Bournemouth? Probably not. He also doesn't get on with Jordan Ibe, so we have yet to see Jordan Ibe in a Derby shirt this season. So that's a no for me. I've seen Sam Allardyce's name, that sort of firefighter manager, you know, the one that will rescue you from the depths of destruction as it is. I wouldn't mind an Allardyce appointment if it was to the end of the year, just to steer the ship. But the problem is then we'll have him to do that, and then we'll be on the search again, and then we'll be looking at a new philosophy, and the players will be just getting used to Sam's way of playing. For me, I think if we're gonna make an appointment, we need to make one now for the long term. I don't think a short term fix will do anything for Derby. So I think, yeah, Slavica Jukanovic, Paul Cook for Elliot, and he goes, will Rooney continue after the interim period? Again, it just depends. I mean, if we hit the ground running and he's got 4 wins out of 4, then maybe. I think everyone's quite interested to see the Rooney-Visinha partnership. I'm a big admirer of Visinha. I always loved listening to him when he was a pundit on Sky Sports. And you know the guy knows the league inside out. He comes across very well. He speaks very well. I can imagine a lot of the players will probably get on with him. But yeah, I don't know. I think with Rooney, especially listening after the pre-match press conference for Bristol City, it sort of seemed like it was it's all about me, not the club. To me, he said a couple of distasteful things that I didn't really like with regards to Cocu's tenure. But I don't know, if he does a good job, why not? Even when Lampard came in, I think everyone thought that Lampard wasn't going to do as well as he did. The only other flip side to it is if Rooney does stay on and results are still poor, you're chucking him in the deep end. So it could go either way there. Me personally, let's get an experienced manager in, get their philosophy going. Let's get out of the bottom 3 for starters and work our way from there. So that's question number 1. Number 2, Sachin Gill. If we get a big name manager, we will spend big. If it isn't, will it be someone to stabilise us and get us out of relegation? Who do you want as your next manager? Again, same as what I've said before, Jukanovic or Paul Cook. for me. And Adam Jackson, where did you get your suit from? It's amazing. You must be talking about my Twitter AVI. That suit is from Charlie Brown. I live in West Midlands, so we've got quite a lot of Charlie Browns here. It's a Mark Darcy suit. So if you got I'm pretty sure there is a Charlie Brown in Derby actually. If not, there's definitely one in Burton. Pop down, they got some great clothes there. Mark Darcy suits are really nice, really comfortable actually. And I think that would have been it. There was one more question, but I've lost it. But yeah, in regards to not the managerial situation, but the takeover, it's exciting times for Derby. Obviously when it first reported that his worth was 112 billion. I believe that is actually the family's wealth overall. But I've read a few things online, and I think Colin Murray said that we have got a lot of money behind us with Sheikh Khalid coming in. It's a new era at Derby. Mel Morris, for all his faults, I mean he's a Derby fan first and foremost. He cares about the club, and sometimes that's all you want as an owner, someone that can stabilise the club and be a fan at the same time. Obviously, it hasn't really worked out in terms of getting promoted. He knows he's made some mistakes in the past. We know it too. But if I had the choice out of a Mel Morris sort of owner or someone like the guy at Bury, who now ceased to exist, you would always take a Mel Morris type owner, not somebody that's come in thinking that they could run a football club and have no interest in it. And I can't wait till this takeover is actually complete, because it does actually seem like an age. You see various sources online saying that the takeover is almost done. The sooner the better for me, and we can really start moving on, look into the future. I'm by no means thinking that we're going to become the next Man City, because for starters we need to get out of the bottom three and we need to get promoted. So that in itself is a big job. To bring on the new era, new owners, new manager. It's going to be a completely new, clean slate at Derby. It's exciting times. I mean, it's another chapter to add in the Derby County roller coaster. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But for me, the main issues at the minute is getting out of that bottom three. And with the January transfer window coming up soon, striker's got to be a priority. Whoever comes in, striker has to be a priority, because we just don't seem to score goals. We don't look like scoring goals. And the situation is getting dire and dire by the game. The games are going to start coming in thick and fast now after this international break. So we've got to get points on the board. Otherwise, we're going to fall adrift, and once you're stuck in the bottom three, it's really hard to get out of. So, yeah, it's interesting times at Derby. To be honest, I can't wait to be back at Pride Park. As well as I'm pretty sure majority of us can't wait to be back at Pride Park. You just miss being in the grounds, and obviously with the new vaccine news coming out, hopefully, fingers crossed, it's sooner rather than later. But for now, I'm just going to leave you to it. If you got any more questions, feel free to hit me up on my Twitter handle, which is full of Derby fans. So that's where I interact with my Derby fans the most. Just a quick message to say to people, I know this lockdown is hard, and I just want to offer my support to you guys. If you ever need somebody to talk to, even if it's just about regular things, non-Derby related, I'm always here. Stay positive, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll see you in the next video.